Oh, bloody hell.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Killian, from the magnificent 24/7 Reds, and I have my co-host, Dazza. How are you, Dazza?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
All good, brother. All good. And we have our panel, Jono, Chase, and Benno. Good evening, boys. How are we?
Good.
All good.
Good evening, gents. Evening.
So, as just just for any listeners or viewers who don't know, so this is actually a special edition, and we're sort of giving it a little bit of a spin tonight. We'll do a brief overview of the match, obviously against Liverpool, which just ended there half an hour back, and then we're going to do a very, very important and special. Have a very important and special discussion about mental health awareness, and to give it a voice in terms of the MAG 24/7 Reds representing mental health awareness and how important it is for everyone in life. Anyway, to kick off the review of the match, Dazza, do you want to kick things off?
I'm happy to. Well, I called it in my prediction video. I said it would be a draw. I spoke to a couple of the guys before, during, and after the game. I thought Eric Ten Hag got his tactics right. I think rope-a-dope Muhammad Ali, away from home, take what they've got. When they run out of steam, try and hit them on the break. We could have nicked it. You could argue we should have nicked it. But yeah, I think a draw. The whole world, including 90% of our fan base, had us getting pegged in this game. So, yeah. Get it right up you. Right up you. Eric Ten Hag in.
Always. Good man. Jono, what do you reckon?
Very, very much similar to Dazza there. I had it as a draw as well. I thought 2-2. I thought there was going to be a few goals in it. But you can't go... We know where we are as a club at the moment. We're not playing good football. And as bad as it is to say Liverpool are in a title race, and I don't think we can go playing football at the moment with Liverpool, but again, like, match their style of play. So we've just got to get a result at the moment, and that's what we did. We arguably could have won near the end. Shocking decision on that, red card to do, which I'm sure we'll get to into a sec. But yeah, we got the result. I thought I put 2-2, but that was a positive 2-2 and a draw. So I'm happy with a 0-0. And yeah.
Well said, Jono. Benno, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone knows my thoughts and feelings the past couple of weeks of where I saw it going. And, you know, sadly, that's what the club did to me. I was expecting nothing more than a dicking, if I'm being brutally honest. I think, you know, it's not, you know, Dazza and John have kind of sort of hit the nail on the head a little bit there, where we can't be going as much as we want to do. We ain't good enough to be going toe to toe yet, to be quite honest with you. I think, you know, there was encouraging points. I think you have to, you know, without Bruno in the team, I mentioned this about, I think it might be last week, possibly the week before, we did show more position, kind of tactical kind of discipline. Without that, we did look a far more organised unit. Yes, I'm not going to try and be too negative. At the end of the day, when was the last time, even if you think back the last 30 years or whatever, when was the last time we went to Anfield and played well? Even the games we won, I guarantee you there were games that we didn't deserve to win. So, yeah, do you know what? It's a point. It's a clean sheet. You know, hopefully this might just give us a little bit moving forwards, but you don't know with this team. As I said last week, they're bipolar. So next week could be something different. So
this is going to sound really weird. This is going to sound really weird. I'm so glad we've drawn a game, because we're either winning them or losing them. And you know,
I just realised, that's our first
season. When you talk up at the end of the season, that could be a very, very important point. At the end of the season, that could be a very important point.
I hope you're right.
So what happens if Liverpool don't win the title by 1 point?
We'll take that.
Let's not worry about
I'm
that
not
kind
worried
of
about
shit
them.
right
I'm
now.
not worried about them. I'm worried about us. I'm just worried about us. Let's worry.
Must be a full moon out there. Benno's throwing a bit of positivity into his review there. It's surprising stuff.
Realistic. I think I'm there at the minute. So you know,
I'm only buzzing,
We are
bro.
where we are. We are where we are.
It's fair. It's a fair statement. Chaser, what were your thoughts?
Well, I didn't know whether to crawl out the grave or if I'm actually dead after Benno's comments. For fuck's sake. Wow, I'm surprised at that one, but we move on.
So which bit, mate? If you want to start now, let's start. What are you surprised at?
Can you hear me now?
Mate,
no.
Simple question.
All right.
Simple question. What are you surprised at?
Surprised. Where's the negativity been? I was waiting for it.
Mate, I'm waiting for you to start slandering the player that wasn't even on the pitch today.
As I said, it's my turn. You had your turn. Move on. You can sit down now.
You brought me up, so.
Well, I thought we did pretty well for the circumstance. Obviously, we were not great whatsoever. We had a couple chances. We can't beat around the bush. We were shit. But tactically, he got it sound. Defensively, everyone was in their position. No one trounced out. Everyone kind of did their job, so to speak. And a 0-0 draw at Anfield is basically what you want, especially where we're at right now. I'll take a point.
Yeah, that's fair.
If I could just take 2 seconds, Kelly, one of the Mag 24/7 Reds, Phil, who was quite down last week, he's mentioned in the comments, smash it, boys, great point, much improved performance, need to kick on now against Villa. And where are all the Eric Ten Hag haters? Where are they all? Can you hear me now, bro?
Very good. Big up, fellow. We miss you and love you, bro. Hope you're well. Yeah, I'm digging at Benno for being negative. But I'm probably gonna give the most negative review of the match. I thought we bottled it. Liverpool were awful. And we played for a draw. And I don't agree with playing for a draw. I'd rather get pumped 3-4, 5-0 than play for a draw. I don't like playing for draws. We used to play for draws under Van Gaal and fucking other managers. Nah, not for me. Listen. Would I predicted 2-2. Would I have taken a draw? Snap your hand off, of course. But just in the circumstances that we were in today, I just felt they were there for the taking, but with that said, we're just not good enough.
Yeah,
we're just not good enough regardless.
Can I come in with a comment on what you just said there, Killian?
Yeah.
You say that, but I think if say we went toe to toe with Liverpool today, I admit we'd probably have got beaten heavily. And Ten Hag, as much as I wouldn't say it, and we spoke about this earlier in our private chat, he wouldn't be in a job tomorrow morning. If we got beat 5 or 6-0 today because we tried to go at Liverpool, Ten Hag wouldn't be in a job.
I think he'd got slaughtered.
I don't think he's getting sacked. Even if we had got pumped today, I don't believe that. But here, listen, that's fine. You guys are entitled to that, and I do disagree. But I'm just disappointed because when you're watching the game there, you see there's an opportunity. There, as Daz alluded to there earlier when we were doing the watch along. One of his mates said that Liverpool, he was a Liverpool fan, said that Liverpool have been rubbish all season, but they've been grinding out wins. And I sort of agree with that. Not that I've been watching any Pool games. I don't watch any fucking Pool games, but still. But anyway, Benno, you had your hand up there.
Yeah, I just wanted to, one thing I was meant to kind of mention before, I think one thing that I was probably quite, impressed isn't probably the wrong thing, but I've been quite critical the past couple of weeks when we're talking about styles and stuff like that. Now, I'm a firm believer of if your plan A isn't going to work, if you can't go and play to your strengths, you make sure you don't lose the game. And that's probably the big positive for me from that today. It's not the going to Anfield and getting a draw, but we made sure we gave ourselves a chance, which is a lot more than what we have been doing. Yes, that's not the ideal solution or scenario to be in, but by being organised, by being disciplined, by getting stuck in out a little bit, it gave us that little bit of a chance. Yes, it wasn't a big chance, but we did it, and that to me that's a big positive. Not necessarily about the result, but just for the squad, because they've gone to one of the toughest places to go. They've gone to one of the toughest grounds in the Premier League, and they've made sure they didn't get beat. And as Dazza and Jono have said, some difference when it comes to the end of the season.
Yeah, no, that is fair. That is fair, and it is something to build on as well. So
I think that's a big positive to see what we saw today was they went there and played as a team. They all went there, played their positions. No one got out, and no one did without what they needed to do. They all did their jobs and they all worked together, which I would take as a positive going forward. We saw it today. One of the hardest places to play, especially for us, to even get a point or a draw or a win. Mostly, I mean, the last 2 times we've gone there, it's been 4-0 and 7-0. We've got trampled, fucked. And today we went and got the draw, and I thought we did well for the circumstance of where we're at as a club, where we're at as a squad. They all just put on a performance the best they could, did their jobs, and got out there with a point. And that's all we can ask right now.
All I'm going to say is to all the people in the listeners, and quite a few in the listeners, some of these are friendly faces. We Banksy's in the listeners, and Shiloh, and Andre and stuff. You've just seen Chase agree with Benno. That is fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, hang on. What's the date? What's the time? 17th of the 12th. Right, that is going up on the wall. That's going up on the wall.
That has to go up on the wall because that's a. I'll tell you now, ladies and gentlemen. That right there is a historic moment. But I guarantee you won't see it fucking again.
The two of you can fucking sit down together, boys. Now, just to finish off, just in terms of the football, before we get to the nitty gritty of the other subject, who was your best player in the field, boys? Are we agreeing on Mr. Northern Ireland? Johnny Evans, big man Evans.
Johnny Evans for me. Johnny Evans.
Yeah.
I have to say, closely followed by Raphael Varane. I thought
They were both solid.
I thought Mainu had a good game as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Again,
That ball to Garnacho. Garnacho should have finished that, bro. But that was if he had
a
few
decent tackles as well.
It was a goal made in the academy, bro. Oh, it would have been goal, but yeah, here. Listen.
I'm sorry, but I'm fucking sick to fucking death of the officials in this Premier League, because I'm going to throw you 2 scenarios up here, right? So, Dillo showed dissent. I don't care whether it's the right decision or wrong. He showed dissent. Fine, fair enough. Now, that was a result of bad refereeing. But what's really wound me up, I said this to you boys earlier, Darwin Núñez throws an elbow in first half, then starts giving it all, gets nothing. Again, I'll go back to what I've said weeks and weeks. I'm sick to fucking death of this consistency. And if that had led to a goal, I'd have been speechless. I'd have been absolutely speechless. It's fucking criminal. And I'm sick to death. And this isn't just Man United players here. This is footballers. I'm sick to fucking death of players and teams getting penalised and punished for having an opinion, for showing a bit of passion, which we've all been. The referee cannot do his job. I'm sick to fucking death of it.
Yeah.
That's what
I agree
wholeheartedly.
That red card's an absolute disgrace.
To be fair, it's just the same shit, different fucking day, boys, in terms of officiating against.
Maybe we should start doing ref watch. Do a segment on each ref.
That's what we do on Let's Talk Sport, my other podcast. We've got a ref who I might try and see if we can get on Mag to talk through some of the decisions that we've had this season.
He'd have a fucking tough time with that today. Jesus Christ. I'm going to put you
Yeah.
in my phone as Mr. Podcast, John. You are Mr. Podcast.
He's doing the dirt on us. No, only buzzing, bro. Do we have anything to finish off with before we delve into?
Yeah, I've got one thing I just want to say, and I'm sure I speak on behalf of every member, anyone that's listening, watching. Thoughts and prayers go out to Tom Lockyer and all his friends and family at Luton Town Football Club. I just want to say a big sort of statement on that one from us all, because that is more important, as we're going to get into shortly, more important than any result, any performance, any stat, whatever you want to say. And I think it's really key that we and what scary moments it was. And so yeah, thoughts and prayers with them.
Yeah.
Before we move on, just to say, Big TC's in the comments. There he is.
Hey,
good result.
Big up TC.
I love you, TC. When you coming on?
There he is. There he is, my English crumpet. How are we?
We know what he replies to that one, but we can't say it on air. No, here. So that's the footy done. But the real reason tonight, this is a special one, all right, and very close to a good few of our hearts here. There's not many things bigger than football in life, but at the end of the day, football is just football. It is our life, but other things, let's be honest, they're more important. Life is more important than anything. And mental health awareness is something we're gonna jump into, because it's so important to give people the courage to speak and talk to people instead of taking their own life or feeling that the only way out is to take their own life. I'm going to read something out here, because I'm not going to lie to the viewers and listeners. Apologies if I stumble or whatever. This is a very personal subject for me, and I'm very nervous. So I've actually written a good bit of stuff here just to read out, so I don't lose my train of thought. So
the floor's yours, Kelly. Just you go for it.
Yeah. So mental health awareness, it's always had a huge stigma around it, and we're here. The magnificent 24/7 Reds team is here to give that stigma a big fucking 2-footer and a red card. All right. Uncomfortable conversations should always be spoken about, because people are afraid to speak about the harsh realities of life and the pressures that come with that. And I'm here with the MAG team to give it to you raw, no pun intended. Right? Bit of so I never knew about mental health struggles. I'll say is a good few years back, I was actually going out with a girl with quite serious mental health issues, and I'll hold my hands up. I thought it was, I didn't know what the fuck she was talking about, and I didn't know it existed. And I sort of just, when she said it to me and opened up, I was an absolute prick, and just sort of shelved it and just said, yeah, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I just didn't know. I was ignorant and I didn't understand anything. But then later down the line, I realized it's a very serious thing. It's a very serious thing that affects a lot of people in life. A lot, you know. I never knew about mental health struggles, or the fact that I myself have been living with the depression all my life. I only found this out this year by a counsellor. That absolutely took the wind out of my sails. I just couldn't understand it. I'm also an alcoholic, in which alcohol has been my life crutch. I'll throw a bit of football in, so it's a little story. So and the boys know this because it happened the night Manchester United were playing Manchester City. and I got absolutely hammered, drank to oblivion, and we were on a space together, and I lost me marbles and went nuts, and I was horrible to everyone. And after that, was horrible to my wife, verbally abused her, and then proceeded to put my arm through the door in anger because United got beat by City in the FA Cup final. So that was the last day I drank alcohol. And I suppose the reason I drank alcohol was to deal with my depression, to get away from the pain, I suppose. Mental health runs in my family. My grandmother killed herself. Was pre-planned overdose. She rang me at the weekend. She killed herself.
You're doing well, Kelly.
Yeah, like so my grandmother, just to fill the viewer and the listener in, I had a mad upbringing, very rough upbringing, and father wasn't in the story, and that my grandmother was his mother, so she was out of my life for a good part of my life and came back in, just out of the blue, and she was obviously going through stuff that I didn't know about, and I found when she found me and we talked, I found her to be a bit overwhelming. I just couldn't really deal with it all. It was just a bit too much too soon. And the weekend she rang me and said, "Can I see you?" And I had something planned, and I didn't see her. And that weekend she killed herself. So yeah, there's I take antidepressants. I've been taking them ever since I gave up the alcohol, because just to try and balance myself out and feel normal. Yeah, so that's a couple of things that just wanted to share. But I'm sharing these heartfelt stories and raw, dark stories, because I want the listener and the viewer to not be afraid to share their dark secrets or their dark thoughts. When I gave up the alcohol and knowing I couldn't drink anymore and knowing I was too broken to drink because of who I am and whatever mental health issues I have, that really killed me and made me embarrassed and feel broken. And then when I heard when the counsellor told me I had depression all my life, that absolutely killed me. And I was going through a very rough time. And a culmination of things happened. I think it was 3-4 months back. Benno and Chase know about this because we're on a fitness group together. And they know the day that I contemplated killing myself. When you feel you're too broken for the world and things are going against you, and you don't feel like you can do anything about it. I was the person, I would always be the person when I heard about someone killing themselves via suicide, I'd be the first person to say that selfish prick leaving his children and kids or whoever. I'd always be the first one to say that. But now I know how it feels. And how it feels is when you have suicidal thoughts in your head rolling around, it pushes everything out of your brain and it forces itself into your mind. You don't have control of your mind. and all that revolves around, that keeps rolling around in your brain is that you're not good enough, you're too broken for the world, and you'd be better off out of the world because you'd be doing everyone else a favor, because all you do is bring heartache and hurt and whatever it may be to the loved ones around you. But thankfully, that day, and with the support of Benno and Chase, and thankfully I didn't do what I was gonna do. I will.
Killian,
I
want to just. Can I interrupt you for 1 minute?
Yeah,
I just want to say before you carry on. Now, I remember when you reached out to me on that day. I think I was literally just either walking to or from the gym. Now, obviously, I'm not going to go into it loads. Obviously, we've had conversations since, but I just want to say from the conversations we've had, and we had you told me a date a couple of weeks back. Almost like an anniversary kind of date and stuff like that. Now, I just want to say on behalf of myself, and I mean, I remember getting quite emotional telling you this before, but I just want to say how proud I am for overcoming your demons and whatever has gone on and stuff like that. I just want to say how proud I am to know you and know what you've overcome. And I think you have shown yourself, me, other people, but most importantly, yourself, where you can go and what you can do to come out on the other side of it. And I'm sorry for you to say this now. So I really want you to take what I'm saying now on board and remember that every single day you wake up. Okay, be proud of who you are. You have your flaws, you have your pros, you have your cons, like we all do. But be proud of what you've done, especially in the last 6 to 9 months that I've really got close to you. So give yourself a pat on the back. I'm sure Chase will wholeheartedly agree as well.
Yeah.
100% agree with that.
I just
100%.
want to say, over these months, me, you, and Benno have gotten, we're like brothers, and we know everything about each other. And I just want to say how
Not everything, baby.
it depends on what type of night. I do want to say though that I love you
Love you, bro.
Big TC's in the comments. He stands with you 100%. We all know TC.
And just before I sort of I love TC, bro. I
when
do.
You coming on TC?
Yeah, TC, we need to have you on soon. But just before I finish up with my little bit, so I just want to say a massive shout out to St. Martin's. I was in work at the time. I walked to the 4th floor. Sat down on the bench, contemplating jumping off, and for whatever fucking reason in my head, I think it was the counsellor that jammed it in my brain or whatever that St. Martin's was a place. So I rang St. Martin's and this fella answered, and he literally talked me off the fucking ledge. So St. Martin's, if you're this is to all the listeners and viewers, if you need to talk to anyone, ring St. Martin's. They're amazing. They saved me life. I wouldn't be here. So that's that. I'm gonna finish with that myself. And the floor is obviously free to anyone else that wants to speak about their experiences or anything.
I'll just come in. We'll put that in the comments as well. We'll put any appropriate links. We'll put in the comments to this video as well.
I'm happy to step in. I'll keep mine kind of brief, and I'll give a bit of context and stuff. One of my cousins is in the listeners, so she knows what I'm about to talk about. So we have got male suicide in our family, and we've had 3 or 4 of them. And I was growing up when I grew up in the 80s. Nobody told you about mental health. Nobody talked about mental health. It was you're the man in the house now, son, and all this kind of shit, And I had two cousins who were brothers who took their own lives. I've had other cousins take their life. And when I was growing up, it was just like, yeah, they died, and that's it. No one talked about it. No one talked about it. So then you fast forward to when you're a bit older, and as you get older, people around you start passing away and stuff like that. So my father got really ill with esophageal cancer, and he was on his deathbed, and my nana, who is his mother, passed away. So we're at her funeral, and as we're carrying her out the chapel, all the phones go, and my father's now passed away in the same week. And I think it's at that point, and I was going out with a girl at the time, that relationship destroyed. And I just felt as though, when I look back at it, my world was just crumbling. Everything was just crumbling. And I think what happened next was 3 or 4 years of just fucking monumental arseholeness, self-destruction, doing things you shouldn't be doing, hanging about with people you shouldn't be hanging about with, drinking too much, partying too much, getting involved with other women who were just fucking lunatics themselves. And it was just a recipe for disaster. And I didn't realise that I was probably dealing with some serious shit. And I think what happened was I kind of self-medicated the whole way through. But there's no doubt now that, like, I've definitely got scars from it. 100% I've got scars from it. So much so that, you know, with my own 2 wee girls now, I'm very conscious of what they hear, what they see. I'm very protective over them. I'm always telling them, you've got to tell me. Anything that's wrong, you've got to tell me. You've got to tell me. Because I don't want... We need to break the cycle as a community. We need to break the cycle of specifically male suicide and the stigma about talking about mental health. The girls do it a lot better than we do. And like, you know, like everyone's wrote underneath their names, never give up. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. That is so true. But, you know, losing my dad and losing my nana in the same week was brutal. And I've got 2 younger brothers. And, yeah, man, it was grim. And I just, at that point, it was just like, you know, I've just got to man up here. I didn't kind of break down properly. Probably took me a year to properly break down. But by that point, I was already fucking causing chaos, man. So yeah, it was a shit time. I made some really shitty decisions, made some really bad financial decisions. Thankfully, over time, you start realising, with the help of your family, my mother, Jesus Christ, that woman's an absolute rock. And one of my brothers, who I'm really close with, he went off the rails for a bit, but we kind of pulled each other back. And then I met my now wife, who puts up with me now. She's just, you know, she centres me. She knows when something's not right. She knows when I'm in it, when my mood is, maybe he needs a cuddle here. Maybe he needs just to be left alone. She knows it. She can read the temperature better than anyone. And she knows how to drag me out of it. Because I'm the world's worst for bottling up, reclusing into myself, not sharing. So, you know, the biggest message that I want to get out there is we need to talk. All the guys, we need to talk. Like I said, my cousin's in the listener. She's watching. She's messaging me as I'm talking. She's making me cry now. It's her dad. He was one of my cousins. So she's one of the toughest motherfuckers that I know. She spoke out about male suicide long before I heard anyone else talking about it. So yeah, they live on. They never. As long as you keep thinking about them, you just keep fucking trucking. But we need to start talking more. We need to start talking more. We need to get the message out that we need to start talking more. And you know, like Benno's wrote in his thing, tough times are shit, right? But they don't last. You can't commit. I mean, Killian, you're a walking example. A walking example. And you should be, everything Benno said is absolutely on the money.
Well, so are you, Dazza. I get my inspiration from people like you, bro.
And like we've spoke privately about journeys that we're both on together. And you know, I'm just so happy to be surrounded by a good group of guys. Hopefully we'll be getting some women in the group as well shortly. But you know, the overriding message needs to be, it's okay not to be okay. Speak to someone. And to any of the listeners, if you feel like shit and you think you can't speak to anyone, drop us a DM. Any one of us.
Yeah. All of our DMs are open.
The door is always open. Always.
Yeah.
There's a very dark, there's a very dark but true message. And the message is, I'd rather you speak to me than me speak about you at your funeral.
Absolutely, man.
It's dark, but it's fucking true. So
I'll just
please,
sign off, Greg. I thought I was going to be able to go into more, but I can't. I'm struggling a wee bit, and I don't want to kind of stumble. I maybe compose myself back.
You're doing amazing, Daz. You're doing amazing, brother.
The only thing I would end on is like, and it is a bit of cliche, and I hate cliche shit, but it is always darkest before the dawn, right? It always is. And it's just about kicking on. Just remember, when it's really dark, there is a light somewhere. You just need to reach out for it. But yeah, my dad was my hero. He was my absolute idol. He still is. I think I own 4 photographs of him. That's it. He never got to see his grandchildren, of which he's got 6 now. He never got to see any of them. But yeah, they live
He's
on.
up there. He's up there, bro.
No, absolutely.
He's proud of you, bro.
Yeah.
And we all are proud of you. So proud of you, man. You're amazing.
He wouldn't like all this shit. You're like, what the fuck is that? What? But yeah, I mean, like I said, the biggest thing for me is we've got it in our family. We've had far too many of them in our family. And the biggest problem our family had is no one talked about it. It was like, that happened. Let's not talk about it.
Yeah.
And we were kind of shielded from it. And that's the wrong thing to do. We know it's the wrong thing to do. We need to talk about it. But I'm happy to hand over to someone else if anyone.
Yeah. And just before we hand over, so I don't know the viewers and listeners. So myself and Chase grew beautiful moustaches over the course of November.
Dazza currently has a petition to get Killian's back.
Yeah.
It won't be coming back until next year. No, but myself and Chase, so I do this annually, but myself and Chase grew the elm moustaches for November, which is called Movember. And if anyone doesn't know what Movember represents, it's basically mental health awareness for men primarily. And as we know, the biggest killers in men, apart from those 2 specific cancers, prostate and testicular, is suicide. So just wanted to put that out there. So it just proves that there's this bullshit sort of machismo bullshit that macho man, I can't speak, I'm fucking hard as nails. Fuck that. Throw that shit out the window, bro.
Yeah.
Keeping things bottled up is a method for disaster, because you're either gonna do two things. You're either gonna blow up and do something nuts, or we'll be going to your fucking funeral.
TC's commented, Killian, he lost his dad 6 days before his first daughter was born and buried him 3 days after. Yeah. Fuck me, TC. I mean, that would scar anyone. That kind of shit, man, that is an emotional roller coaster, because you're as high as a kite and as low as a snake. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
But it just, for anyone who knows TC, absolute amazing human being. We can all, everyone in here, absolute honor to know TC.
Fucking
absolute legend, and we hope to have him on at some stage during the course of the season.
My lovely
all love TC.
My lovely English crumpet.
We know the response. He's put it in the
We
chat.
love you, TC, and thank you so much for sharing that that private personal information, bro. All love. Thank you. Jono, do you want to?
I think
I'll go in there.
Sorry, just quickly before we go to Jono, just before we go to you, Matt, I just want to say as well, I think hats off to, we got a Nicky in the comments as well, who was told us that he was half an hour away from throwing myself in front of a train about 8 years ago. I'm now 7 years sober. Today, weird if I've ever been. It's definitely doable. Nicky, if you're still listening, big hats
Amazing.
off.
Amazing.
Hats off. Salute you there.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you so much.
And if you need us, Nicky, drop us a line. Anytime.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Sorry, John.
Yeah, all good. 100% agree with everything that's been said. Massive respect for both of you speaking up as well, and people in the comments. A few years ago, I've only had the one partner, and I had a really bad breakup about four and a half years ago now, and I've not had another partner since. It was such a bad breakup. But I started drinking, and obviously this wasn't myself. I just wouldn't stop messing. Like, it happened because of long distance and going to uni and all that, and I was quite persistent, I think, at the time. I wanted to fix it, and I wouldn't stop messaging her, and so all of that happened at the same time. But in the same month, which also I don't think helped, my Uncle Neville, bless his soul, passed away. The same month, and also my brother's missus, she was in hospital at the time, and my cousin, who's now on the mend and she's doing really well, she had to have an emergency operation at Southampton Hospital, and this all happened within a week of each other. So I was really not in a good way, and I wasn't taking it very well. I started drinking. I was leaving it. I was bottling it up, and I wasn't really speaking to her about. But then I started speaking to friends about it, and they helped me through it. But yeah, just a massive respect to everyone for speaking up, and it's really important. And yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Jono. You're so brave, sharing that. I'm really, really honoured. Thank you for sharing that, bro.
See, before we move on, Johnny, that was beautiful. Just honestly, my cousin Sophie, who's in the listeners, is messaging me, right? So when my cousin took his life, his father died on the night of his funeral. So it's just, these things are just, it's just bonkers. It's just, the whole thing's just bonkers. And we just need to start chatting. We need to start talking. That's it.
Definitely.
100%. The floor is free for anyone.
You want to go, Benno, or?
Yeah, I'll go. Mine, I'll be honest, what I'm probably going to say now is it's probably a complete kind of 360 to what the guys so far have spoken about now. Luckily, I've not experienced anybody in committed suicide or anything like that. But I am gonna, if it sounds daft, I am gonna be talking about me here and kind of experiences that I've been through, and how I've kind of overcome them and achieved them to where I am today, which isn't exactly where I want to be, but what ways of doing so and ways of coping. Now, one thing, almost like a bit of a disclaimer statement that I just want to, are so quick to judge when it comes to anything involving mental health or anything like that. What could be a big thing to me could mean nothing to you. What could be a big thing to you might be. So you never judge someone. I'm going to say something here about something that really, really affected me, and it really flipped me. Everybody listening, like, I would not be surprised if a few people even giggle or have a bit of a laugh. And that's fine. I won't like that. But it just goes to prove what something that's close to you or that affects you can do. Now, it's a weird one. I noticed I sort of notice changes, effects, not effects, but when I was 18 years old, so I was, those that know me know I used to play quite a high level of cricket. I was trialling with, 17, 18, I was trialling with first class counties. I was doing really well with Northamptonshire, looking at obviously going for like a pro contract. When I was 18 years old, and I always have, this is a weird one. I don't like talking about this, but I always try and explain myself a bit. My knee went. Okay. Now, when I say my knee went, to the point of my knee had completely given up on me, and I was going into a swimming pool at the time. I ended up having to have emergency surgery within a couple of days. 3 months later, required more surgery. A year after that, required more surgery. And within a 4-year period, I had 5 operations on my knee, including a deliberate break on the bone, and what's known as a cartilage implant as well, which I've got now. And on the line post-op, I am waiting to have more scans and possibly more exploratory surgery to find out. Now, I had this, and this is where I'm going to kick on here. So I was never told no when it comes to the basically where I was trying to go with my trials. Now, I'd rather have been told it wasn't good enough. Basically, I couldn't complete the program because my knee went. And kicking on after here on what, sorry for any background noise, you've got 2 of my advocates of mental health and my biggest supporters are actually sat with me right now. I'm sure you'll see them as we go. And my dreams growing up, because my old man was one of my biggest inspos. And Ralph, will you pack it in? And I wanted to go in the military. I wanted to go in the military. That was what I wanted to do. I wanted to go and travel all around and basically do what he'd done. And due to my medical history, I was advised on going away to uni, getting a commission, and then I could get a degree. Sorry, then I could look at going down a commissioner's route down the line. Unfortunately, I then had to require more extensive surgery on my knee, going from there to the point where I managed to get a meeting, and they basically said, unfortunately, where you are with 3 wheels, we won't. If you had an injury during it, we'd look after all your healthcare, but we won't take you on. You won't get through the medical side of things. Okay, fine. Pissed off, whatever. I thought there's other options, so I went down the firefighter route. Passed all my initial. We had to do an initial kind of base training as such to make sure you could do so much. Pass 99% of the medical, and luckily physically I was all okay. Turns out I was colorblind, so that was another thing that got told. And basically, I'd rather be told I wasn't fit enough. Come back in 6 months, try again. And you'll see where I'm going with this in a minute. So I do apologise if I am going around a bit. It was something I couldn't control. It was something. I was going for, right, I'll look at the police. Again, red flag. Colourblindness, stuff like that. I'm thinking, fuck me, like, what am I going to do? I've grown up playing sport, working in the fitness industry and doing this and that. And I'm thinking to myself, fuck me, what am I going to do here? Like, everything I've wanted to do. I didn't know where I was. I was 25 years old. Didn't know what I was going to do. So I ended up, I went back and obviously was working in the gyms again and stuff like that. And then obviously you make sure I ended up working doing something I basically didn't really want to do. I ended up working in sales. So doing all that anyway, blah, 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 blah. things happen, and you get further down the line, and you start telling yourself like, "Shit, I'm approaching 30," and I'm thinking, and it just I became very, very, and this is my kind of my way over this. I became very regimented and routine with what I was kind of putting myself through. And one of my biggest alarm bells, I forgot to actually say this actually, my biggest bugbear during the whole time, over that 5-6 year period during all the surgery and the rehab, I've probably spent best part of 36 months in total on crutches. One of my biggest things I felt like I was moaning, I was complaining about life. Life wasn't fair because I couldn't do what I wanted to do. And I walked into university one day on my crutches, and I look at the table, and there's a lad there who I've become quite good friends with over the course. He's got no legs. And I'm, fuck me, I'm moaning about a bit of fucking bandaging and a few scars. There's a guy here with no legs. Turns out this guy, I think he's got an MBE now. He is a Paralympic silver medalist. He won a silver at Beijing. And he was a world record holder at the 100-meter sprints in a wheelchair. And that was a big motivation for me, because I'm thinking, fuck mate, if I'm complaining about this, he's got no fuck doing it. He's proper done this. So I ended up basically I went on and all that blah blah blah, and it's just, unfortunately, things happen, with relationships and life and stuff like that, and you start to see a little bit of light as where you're going. Now, for the past, I'm 33 years old now, and for the past 10 years, I've got arthritis and osteoporosis. I went and saw a specialist last week. I'm awaiting further options, shall we say, moving forward like that. But I've been putting up with pain basically for the past 10 years, which is understandable. But the big thing I think for me is, and this is what I really want people to pay attention to now. I don't need them to care about my story for that. Is find something that gives you an escape break, gives you a release or something like that. Now, Killian and Chase would know from me. So as we've mentioned before, me and them have a fitness group, and I've kind of taken the alpha role, as we kind of say with that. But we've all been motivated in each other one by one, and it's a real close network of doing that. And the gym, health, whatever, is a big thing for me. Now, me and Killian had a massive argument a few weeks back because he told me to get a grip. Right. Whilst I was on the other end of the phone, I was crying my eyes out. But he didn't know, and I had to just I ended up having to sort of say, look, no, I'm not just taking the piss here and being, I'm really down. And I was really, really upset. And a lot of this was earlier in the year. I'd lost my job, and so that means I'd lost my car. Thinking, fuck, I got a mortgage to pay for. I got this, I got that, and I spent best part of. It was annoying because I lost my job one week, and I had a new job within 4 days. But because of DBS checks and stuff, I had to wait another 6 weeks before I could start. For that 6 weeks, all I had was the gym and 2 4-legged animals that got me through it. And every day I made sure, and this is where we went routine and regimented. Every day I made sure I got up at the crack of sparrows, walked the dogs, I walked to the gym, got my shit done. And then I found cold water therapy. Now, for those that don't do cold water therapy, or have never done cold water therapy, it's fucking disgusting, if I'm being honest with you. But there's a big thing that I take when I do it. And for those that don't know, some call it a cold shower, but I've got an ice bath which goes in my garden, basically. And the water's single digits. And I'm going to finish on this. There's a big thing that I tell myself every time I go. It doesn't matter how many times you do it, it never gets any easier. But that 3 you're meant to do 3 to 5 minutes at a time. That 3 to 5 minutes, I tell myself, is going to be the worst 3 to 5 minutes of my day. Nothing is going to be any, and especially some of the first things that touch the cold water are the things that hang down below. It's fucking disgusting. Now, you get a sudden rush once you've done that, a sense of accomplishment, a sense of achievement. And that's a big thing that I want to give for people to work for, is set yourself something to do daily. It doesn't matter how big or how small it is. And fun for me to judge, because for those that don't know, I actually work in the mental health industry as well. So it's very difficult when you're going into work, and I'm gonna put it bluntly here, dealing with other people's shit and your own. It's very, very difficult. And whilst, like I say, there's no such thing as other people's shit, sometimes you have to just say it as it comes, and sometimes there's no escape. And this is what anybody listening, anyone that sees this, give yourself something every single day that you have to do. It could be half an hour reading a book. It could be 5 minutes going in an ice bath, whatever. Set yourself something, give yourself a sense of purpose and accomplishment each and every single day, and it will make you feel a lot better. Now, I'm still going through a lot of shit right now. I'm a big advocate of sometimes you have to go back to the drawing board, look at what's bothering you, eliminate it, or this could sound a bit controversial when I say this, but less talk, more action. And I'm a big believer, and that's something that I can take away from this stuff that's bothered me. I've fucked it off, and I've gone and done something. And it could be something as little positive, a little spin on it. I bought myself I bought myself a new car last week. It's the car I've always fucking wanted.
We've never heard the fucking end of this story.
I was like a 10-year-old on Christmas Day. Honestly, oh mate, fucking hell. You know, I was depressed. I was depressed after that, I can tell you. You know, and I think that for me has lifted, again, to some that would mean absolutely nothing, but to me, a sense of pride. I've not had a car since March, and I've not been able to do certain things.
Picture of the car, you were so happy. Soon you went to see it, and you took a picture, you sent me a text message. You were so happy.
So me and Chase, we never heard the fucking end of it. But on a serious note, me and Chase having a conversation, a one-to-one conversation, we were saying we're so fucking happy for Benno, because it was just, he was going through such a rut, and he just couldn't see himself getting out of the rut, and we were just so happy he was out the other side and things were happening and working for him. We're so happy for him.
He was like a kid at Christmas, and we felt so proud of him. He was like our little. He was like our little man that just grew up like for about a second. So fucking Christmas Day.
I love to the message.
You know, as I say to some, and a lot of it's all stems around my knee. It's mad, and that's what I think. I'm pretty much laughing at it myself, and I expect others to do as well.
You can chase it all back.
It's weird. It's because I would love to just know what trajectory things would have gone on if they hadn't done that. But I want to say to anybody that wants to talk health, fitness, a regimented at all, please feel free. Drop me a DM if you want to drop, even if you haven't got me or whatever, drop the MAGA thing and they can forward it on to me or whatever like that. Anybody wants to talk about how, if there's one thing I'm fucking good at, it's motivating people and it's motivating myself. And that's a big thing.
He even went viral on YouTube.
Is she still running?
I know this is it's a complete flip of what but I want people to understand that it doesn't matter how big or small the problem is. If it's a problem for you, it's a problem, and you need help, and you need, ways of addressing things. So reach out, talk, as I say, I get a buzz off motivating people. It motivates me to do it. So if anybody wants anything at all,
Then
reach
I
out.
put I'd say I put a message in our private chat, and I want I've been wanting to go to the gym properly, and I've been trying to find excuses like work and all that. So I'd love to speak to you and see what have a conversation.
Yeah, mate,
about,
we'll chat. We'll chat. There's stuff. There's stuff. I'll be honest, I've not said, and I'll be honest, I don't want to say it. I've been on medication before, but you're the one person that can make a change. You the listener, you are the person that can make a change.
Yeah.
So I plead for you to do it. Reach out, talk to anybody. Sometimes it's better to talk to a stranger than it is to a friend, because friends often judge you.
Yeah.
Friends are very quick to judge, even family members as well. I never talk to my parents because I know my mum will give me an arm around the shoulder. I don't want an arm around the shoulder. I want.
Yeah. I've told you and Chase some stuff I haven't told fucking anyone else. You know.
You know, where I obviously where I come from, you can't be soft because you'll be eaten alive. I've been bullied when I was younger for probably the latter part of my life, and I felt weak. I was about 15, 16 years old. And where I come from, especially around the Los Angeles area, what accepts you when you're bullied and when you're down are gangs. And especially when it comes to where I come from, it comes down to two choices. When you're bullied, you're either going to kill yourself or you're going to kill that person who did it to you. And it was through the latter part of middle school. This person lived close to where I lived. I took it, got punched in the face, nose, all that shit. And I took it. And it was till the point I got to high school. And I was tired of taking it. I still felt weak, hard, cold-hearted, didn't have a heart. And I was tired of it. So I started hanging out with the wrong group of people. And I ended up joining a gang because I needed respect. Felt like I had to have respect. And in that type of situation, you got to have respect and and be hard, act like you don't have a heart. And it got to the point where he was coming by my house, threatening me, my family, doing all this sort of crazy shit. And so I felt one night, I got to do something about this. So I got together with the group I was with, and they said, "Are you ready? You ready to put work in and handle your business?" I said, "Yeah." So we were drinking and got about midnight. And he said, "Let's go." So okay. Put a 45 in my hand, loaded, ready to go. So we drove around the block. He's sitting out there. I get out, walk down the street, can see it plain as day. And all of a sudden, I take the gun out of my pocket, clock it back. Didn't think about it for a couple seconds as I take a few more steps, just thinking about what's going to happen next. And all of a sudden, something hits me. And I look up. And I drop to my knees. And I look at the gun. And I dropped it. And I put my hands up. And that was the first time I felt something. That was the first time I felt something hit me. Felt something more. And I just started crying. And I look back now. If I didn't think, I wouldn't be here with anybody. I'd be in a prison cell. Nobody would know who I am.
Amazing, bro.
Love you, Chase.
Love you, Chase.
Fucking love you, motherfucker.
And also, I do want to bring up, only to know this so far, I haven't talked about this with anybody else. Alcoholism is real. And a close family member, close friend of the family, a couple weeks back, but it's been about a month now. And him and his father usually drink together. They watch college football, drink together, have the good crack. And one night they got in an argument in their apartment complex. And they shoved each other. And he punched his dad. And his dad fell backwards. And is now in the hospital. And basically on life support. And the doctors have said that it's basically just a matter of what the family want to do. And that was the last thing he got to say to his dad, was a fight and an argument.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing, Chase. Honestly. Big cajones, man.
Yeah.
Much love to you, brother. Much love.
Love you, bro. Love you, bro. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah. We knew this was gonna be raw tonight. Don't mean to be too down in the dumps about it all, but it's important to share these raw, real, honest hardship stories, because it's for the viewer and the listener to understand that it's more important to talk than it is to bottle it inside and be shameful about it, because everyone struggles in life. I have this saying, but it's fairly negative, but life is a fucking tough motherfucker. The easiest fucking part of life is fucking dying. It's the easiest part. Life is really fucking tough, but you're never alone. Never, ever alone. And I just before we can say a little bit now between each other, but I just want to say I'll start off. Benno, you're one of the most inspirational people I fucking know. You define resilience. You're the definition of resilience. I look up to you so fucking much. You're an amazing human being. Amazing human being. Even though you're a prick.
You're a prick.
Hey, Chase, you're a bigger prick. But I love you. I love you the most out of fucking everyone. I love you so much, bro. We talk now. Benno, don't get jealous now. No, but we're on this journey together, the three of us, and it's just fucking beautiful. And I feel so lucky, so fucking lucky to have you guys in my life and to share it with. Jono, you're an amazing human being as well. It's just such a pleasure to be friends with you. And Daz, I don't need to fucking talk about you, bro. We're just brothers. We're just brothers from a different mother, bro. But yeah, no, I really hope this podcast has helped people. Fuck the stigma. Shove it in the fucking bin. I never want to hear the fucking word stigma again. Men need to fucking talk, and women, of course. And thank you to all the women in the world that support men, because we'd be fucked without women. Women are the superheroes of the world. Never forget that. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Do you want to anything else we have?
I think
I actually have a message from another person, but sorry, Chase, you go ahead.
You go, Chase.
I think for me, especially bullying, if you see someone getting pushed, someone getting roused, don't be a part of the fucking problem. Don't take your phone out and fucking video. Be a part of the solution. Help. Because you're not just helping someone, you're helping someone else. You're helping everybody in that situation. You're helping from someone not only killing themselves, but you are helping someone from killing someone else.
100%.
I would just like to say one more wee thing. My dad was very much a man's man, right? But he used to always say things to me when I was growing up. We lived apart, so it was always on the phone. So, like, for instance, Christmas Day, 9:30, I'm going to be in a cunt of a mood because I don't get my phone call at 9:30, and it's been like that since 2005. My wife knows that. So, I will be down in the dumps for 10 minutes. Then I'll give myself a shake. The kids will not let me be down in the dumps. But anyway, but he used to have ways of saying things to me, like he would put things in, like almost like wee cliches, wee soliloquies to make me understand things. And I got upset at school one day about a teacher being a prick to me. And he couldn't really say much because he get expelled for hitting his teacher. So there was different days then though. And what he said to me, and do you know what sticks with me now? He said, "Do you know what it is, Darren? There's a million people out there, son, that would love to kick you in the balls, right?" He said, don't be one of them. Don't kick yourself in the balls. If you want a ball kicking, just step outside the door. Do you know what I mean? And it resonates. It stuck with me for 35 years, 30 years. It stuck with me. I used to think there was a million people that kick me in the balls. But as I get older, and my kids are now starting school and all this kind of stuff, I get it. I get what he was saying all those years ago. I get it. A million people would want to put you down. Just believe in yourself and speak. And if whatever you put out there, somebody doesn't want to take it, that's on them.
And if we could all sit here and share things we would never share with anyone, let alone you two, you can do it. Because we each and every one of us here all know each other well. We all love each other. We've said these things to each other. And if we can sit here and drum up the courage to share our stories, you can do it too.
I just think you need to listen to even just the 5 stories you've heard tonight, right? I mean, they're enough to break anyone's will, spirit. I mean, Benno's story, that's heartbreaking.
That's devastating.
For a different angle, it's absolutely heartbreaking. You're ready to go. You're ready to make it. You're ready to make it, and then it's taken away, and then you move on to something else. It's the constant. And I just think, what balls you've got, Benno, man. What balls
Huge.
you've got, man. I mean, fucking like that, man. Remember my motivational video on Friday? Just remember that video. I meant every word of it. Just remember, balls out. Balls out.
Always check your balls, by the way.
Yeah, that's another podcast.
I think, like,
in a non-sexual way.
I think something I just want to kind of finish on from my side of things. I think that the key points to kind of remember here and take away from this, you've had 5 people speaking tonight, and everybody said something completely different. Now, a lot of people have certain their personality or whatever like that, and if you have a doubt, just ask the question, because one of the most important questions, I think it's the most popular question as well in the UK right now, is how are you, or are you okay? You see people do it online. Oh, I haven't heard from Thingy in a while. Has anybody spoken to him? Is he okay? Reach out, because that can mean more than anything in their world right now. And that's a big thing. I think I want people to make sure that they do here. Check on your mates, check on your family, check on those around you. But as well, and the final thing for me on this one is, in the midst of doing all that, because while some people find it's easier to check on other people and look after them, I've said check on your mates, check on your family. The most important one
Reach out.
is check on yourself. Check on you,
100%.
because no one else. Because if you don't, doesn't necessarily. There's no guarantee anybody else will.
Yeah.
Okay, check on you. Be strong, and you know, you've seen what we've said. You've seen what people in the comments have said. We've read out. Anything's possible if you put your mindset to it. So I empower everyone to do that. But yeah, for me personally, thank you. I feel like I was just waffling because I feel like it means fuck all to some of you.
No.
But
Massive
that's me. So,
No, bro.
Massive.
No.
no, I just appreciate you guys and anybody that's tuned in and taking the time to listen in. So, but yeah, check on yourself, guys. Okay, check on yourself.
Legend. I'm just gonna. So a mate of mine sent me in a message. So I'm just gonna read it out if you don't mind.
Cool.
So let's see. So this guy nearly lost his family, nearly bankrupted himself, and his family was on the brink of losing absolutely everything. A gambling addiction. Got the help, researched everything himself, got counseling and therapy, and got out of, went from rock bottom and one of the darkest places he's ever been. And what was the best thing he ever did? He opened his mouth and spoke to someone. It essentially saved his life. Well, not essentially, it did. It did. It saved my life as well. You have to talk. Please. Just talk. Talk. There's no secret shameful enough not to talk about. If it can save your life, just do it. Please. Begging everyone, listeners, viewers, whatever, just speak to someone, anyone. And just this person's very, very lucky to have this. He says, I'm very lucky to have the support network around me, because some people don't. And he dreads to think what it's like for those who don't. Because as we know, very easy, it's a very slippery slope and very easy to get consumed by it all. To that person, if they're in the listeners or not, thank you so much for sharing. It's an absolute honor, mate. All love. And just I just want to speak just on the in terms of alcoholism. Just obviously, I keep telling you, I'm an alcoholic. Last day I drank was that derby, the FA Cup final. I'm nearly 200 days. I go to AA meetings every week. If you're an alcoholic, or you think you're an alcoholic, or you have a problem with alcohol, go to fucking AA meetings. Honestly, it's therapy. You meet your tribe there. Everyone You resonate with everyone. It's a little family. There's no shame. You can tell anything you want. I've told everyone in my AA meetings everything I've just said tonight. Well, most of it. And it's essential for me every week to go to them. I love it. Every time I leave an AA meeting, I feel like lighter on my feet. I just feel proud of myself, and fucking rightly so. You know, yeah. The decisions you make in life shape your life, either negatively or positively. Just make sure you make the fucking positive change if you need to. I hit rock bottom. I was given an ultimatum by my other half. I was about to lose everything. And that was my rock bottom. But for others, it's a different thing, whatever it may be. But yeah, I just wanted to say to all those people who maybe think they have an alcohol problem or a drug problem, because I had everything problem back in the day. But there's nothing to be shameful for. Just go to the AA meetings, do them, and it'll become part of your life. And I know for a fact I'll never drink alcohol again. I know. And today it was my daughter's second birthday. We went to a restaurant. My missus had a pint, and I had a pint glass of water with ice. No problem. In a lot of ways, I wish I'd never touched alcohol ever in my whole life. But it is what it is, but we're here today to tell the story. But please do, if you think you need help in any way, counselling, so important. Or anyone to speak to, as the guys have pointed out, if even better to talk to someone that you don't really know, because they won't judge you, or if you don't have that sort of anxiety that they will judge you. But yeah, that's all really I have to say on things. And just, it's always okay to not be okay. Life's very fucking tough. You know, it's tough for everyone. You know, we all go through ups and downs, some of us more downs than ups. But do seek help, whether it be medication. As I said, I'm not ashamed to say I'm on antidepressants. It is what it is. They're helping me live, you know. If you need to go to counselling, go to counselling. I personally think everyone should go to counselling. Everyone in life, because it's so good to get things off your chest and just talk. Talking's the name of the game. Name of the game, baby. So that's it from me. Anyway, if any of the other chaps want to hone in,
I've got one thing I do just want to. Sorry, just to go on again. I think Killian's bit of. I think Killian's done a bit of proof in the pudding a little bit there. So he's spoken. I spoke before about finding a regimented routine, a purpose, something in life, whether that's daily, weekly, monthly, whatever like that. Killian's got that, and I've got it with my gym. I've got it with my cold water therapy. I feel guilty if I don't do it, and that's what Killian's finding. We're doing that as well. But the one thing, sorry, I did just want to finish on is. This goes a little bit back to the suicide awareness, and there's one thing that I hate it personally, because is if somebody tries to do something, people often say he seeking. They're just attention seeking. Don't worry about it. Yes, they are attention seeking. They're calling for help. Don't ever dismiss somebody attention seeking when it comes to that kind of game, because eventually, the next time, and again, oh, they're crying wolf. No, sorry, they're not. They're crying out for help. Okay, someone wants help, and if you don't, to put it bluntly, you're a bit of a cunt. Anyway, good night from me.
I think
mic drop.
I think also, if you know someone who's going through it, but they won't do it, step in and help them as well. Give the ones that you know, if someone's going through it, be their voice to help them. Whether you call for help for them, that is a huge issue as well. Is someone knows someone who's going through it, and they tell them, "Oh, I don't want you to say anything, this and that," and then something bad happens, and then you have that guilty conscience. I should have just said something to someone to get them the help that they need, and that is a huge thing with bullying, suicide. It kind of all goes hand in hand. You know someone who knows someone who's getting that type of treatment. Help them. Be their voice. Be strong for them if they can't be strong for themselves.
Yeah.
I think Norwich City did an advert recently.
Oh, bro. What
And
a
Yeah,
what a
let's
breathtaking ad.
find that and let's share it. Let's
share
find that and let's
because
share it. I got it
that's
wrong.
a phenomenal piece of film.
Amazing.
It's not what you see.
Yeah.
It's what you don't see.
Yeah.
Mm.
And yeah, just
popped in my head there. We'll get Jono to get that and we'll get it shared.
As excuse me, as Dazza alluded to there, it's what you don't see. Mental health is invisible. It's invisible. You can't see it in someone. When I was younger, when I was the alcoholic, I was the life and soul of the party before I became the clown of the party. But you never would have guessed I was going through anything. Like, and it goes for everyone that goes through poor old Robin Williams. There's so many that the lead singer of Linkin Park. You know, you can't see this sort of.
Matthew Perry.
Chester Bennington.
There you go.
Matthew Perry.
Perry, God rest him. You know, these serious shit. But just always talk to people. Reach out. If you think someone's going through it, please don't even fucking say, I'll text them tomorrow. Just fucking text them then and there. Because you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You may not be able to text them the next day because they won't answer.
Exactly. We, as we've alluded to, myself, Benno and Chase are in a group together. When we don't hear from each other, which is a bit strange from time to time, we always text each other. The guys, God love them, were a bit freaked out by me last night because I was so exhausted. I headed off to bed early and I put my phone on airplane mode so no one would fucking ring and the phone would start buzzing on the side of the bed. But the guys got a bit anxious and I woke up in the middle of the night to some fucking texts, and whilst I laughed, it was so fucking I felt so grateful that the guys were not that they were worried about me, but that they reached out just in case. But at least they did, because you just never know. And obviously last night in that circumstance was nothing to worry about, but it could have been, you know. So it just goes to show how important it is. Always talk to your mates, your family, everyone.
What I'm more pissed off about is I didn't get my fucking bedtime story. Fuck's sake.
You'll get one tonight. Here it is, you bitch. Love you, bitch.
I'm reading Charles Dickens, Brad.
I echo what you said there, Killian, because I won't go directly into details, but I had something similar this week, and it turns out he's all right because I had a message from someone else saying he's all right. But one of my co-hosts from one of my other podcasts didn't turn up for the show, and no one heard from him for like 2 or 3 days. So everyone on the team was obviously worried about him. And a couple of hours before this show, I got a call saying he's just been all right. He's just been busy.
Oh, thank God.
With life. But yeah,
and
I was a bit worried, just like out of the routine,
character.
if you know what I mean. Yeah. Yeah.
No, thank God he's all right. But you did the right thing trying to contact him. This has actually hit me really like a thunderbolt. Me and Phil started talking because of someone who tried to commit suicide. Me and Phil know each other because someone online tried to commit suicide. And that's how we got together and started talking. And that person, I'm obviously not going to name, but when we're over in Manchester, everyone knows when we're going to be over, I'm not going to mention it, but
yeah,
my idea and what I want to do is bring that fella out and bring him to dinner and on us and treat him and whatever. But it's just funny how me and Phil started our convos. But yeah, that's how it's life's mad. But anyone else before what do you reckon will we wrap things up? Any last words?
I
just
just
wanna
want to
echo-
add, is that your side bitch podcast, John?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Wanna talk
I
about
was,
it? Are we going to talk about it?
I was,
For life, baby. For life.
Yeah, Jono. No, good.
One thing I was going to say is, we've had a few people live. If anyone does want to speak up and put stuff in the comments, me or Killian or Benno will read through the comments on YouTube and reply to any comments that
Oh yeah,
people
no, of
send us.
course.
Same on Twitter. So our
Yeah.
DMs are all open as well.
Always put on Twitter. We read everything. See anything you send to the mag, we read it all. We
Yeah.
read it all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether it be Man United related or just life related, we read it all.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it to if no one else. Does anyone, just before we finish, does anyone have anything else to add?
No.
Right, that was I fucking love that.
I'm hungry.
I hope we do one something similar or something along the lines of something like that in the future, and we will 110%. We'll try and get guests on, but yeah. So there's a film called Wonder, and there's a quote in it, and it says, "Be kind. If you can be anything, be kind, because everyone is going through something that you don't know about." You can see someone walking through the street and you smile at them and they don't smile back, and you think to yourself, what a prick, or how rude. But deep inside, that person that didn't smile, they're fucking dying inside. I mean, you just don't know it. Or that miserable dickhead that gave you abuse on a train, or I don't know, in a restaurant they were being mean to you, or horrible, terrible customer service. I don't know. You wouldn't know. You don't know what that other person's going through. Now, I'm not condoning people being a dick, but my point is everyone is going through something in life. So just be kind. Don't be a cunt. We're all cunts, but try to be kind, because, as we always say, life's fucking tough.
One quote I was given and I always live by Albert Einstein: try not to be a person or a man of success, but rather be a person and a man of value.
Yeah.
And I want to end it on something as well, like going back to a football side of things, like a few players, notably Lingard in the last year, who's probably played for United, has come out. There's a lot of fans who, and I'm not this way myself, will abuse players online for a bad performance. Just think they are real humans as well, and you don't, as we've said, we don't know what's going on in their lives behind the football. So it's just important to think about that as well. I thought I'd add that in there.
Yeah, and just to touch upon what you just alluded to, so it was Gary Speed's anniversary the other a few weeks back there. God rest him, and best wishes to always, and prayers and thoughts to his family, and that goes for anyone who's lost a loved one due to mental health or anything, you know. But here, listen, I think we'll finish it up, and that was a beautiful podcast. I hope we've gotten through to some people, if you were listening or viewing, and if you could, I'm not going to lie here. I don't give a fuck about clicks and likes for this particular one, but please share it, because it could save one fucking life. I don't care about clicks, views, likes about this. This is a message that we all need to get out. You could save a life. Now, with that, good night and God bless. Magnificent 24/7 Reds. Love yous. Thanks so much for tuning in. Good night and God bless.
Have a good Christmas if we don't see you.
Yeah, and happy Christmas.